Hello! I'm back screaming into the void about Malazan. I just finished reading Chapter 2 of Book 4, House of Chains. So if you haven't read House of Chains, Chapter 2, or just don't care about spoilers or whatever, I'm going to be talking about all that and everything that comes before. So keep that in mind if you're watching this video. Chapter 2. I read through the entirety of Chapter 2 in one sitting because we had a really slow day at work a few days ago, and I just didn't get around to recording my impressions. But mostly because I was just like soaking it in. It was like 80 pages or something. It seems like the chapters in this book are a lot longer than they are in the other books. So there's like twice as much going on in each chapter. But there's just so much. There's just always so much. And this chapter is hitting me with all the, like, revelations. A lot of stuff happened in this chapter. So I guess we'll just kind of get to some of my impressions and what I thought, some things that happened. So I don't entirely remember what happened in Chapter 1, what ended Chapter 1, but, Karsa, Delum, and Bareth are all, the motley crew are traveling when they find some cave, and in the cave are written in the Teblar language, like a more elegant and complicated version of the Teblar language. Is like a bunch of sigils and like words or whatever the fuck, like sentences, goddamn crazy. And this like 2 pages, like page and a half of what they find on this wall is like mind blowing in the lore, in the implications. I want to read just a snippet. To survive, we must forget. So Icarium told us. Those things that we had come to, those things that softened us. We must abandon them. We must dismantle I know not that word, and shatter each and every stone, leaving no evidence of what we had been. We must burn another word I do not know, and leave naught but ash. We must forget our history and seek only our most ancient of legends. Legends that told of a time when we lived simply, in the forest, blah, 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 and that goes on for a while. And another, it continues. I have given these tribes new names, the names given by my father for his sons, so like the writer's brothers, and then a list. Buried, Sanid, Phalid, or whatever, Urad, Gilad, Manid, Rathid, and Lanid. These, then, shall be the new tribes. And, like, what the hell's going on? Because isn't that the name of the things that rose up in the second scene in the first chapter when Karsa left after praying to in the faces in the rock, and like some beings rose up out of the earth? Or isn't that them? And Icarium was mentioned. I think Karsa is a Jagut, or Jagut, or whatever. I think that all of the Teblar tribes are Jagut descendants, and Icarium did these laws of isolation, because we know that the Jagut lived in isolated pods. That's something that's like touched on in every book. That's the opening of Memories of Ice, is that I have just the books on my desk like a crazy person. I just reference them. But like in the opening part of Memories of Ice, I'm like dropping stuff. Is the Tlani Mas, before the gathering, the first ritual or whatever, I forget what it's called, but before that, they went off and hunted some Jagut, and that's, like, they slayed the Jagut mother, and then the 2 children were thrown into the rift, and one of them became the Panayan Seer, and all that, the entirety of Memories of Ice happened. But why were there isolated pods And these like Tebler tribes, if they are descendants of Jagged, if they are Jagged, so there's just like there's so much going on, and there's so much like of course this is a dense chapter. I would say okay, in the first chapter I was like, why am I, this is interesting, but why am I like reading this? Like why is this why is this like 80 pages, in this book about Malazan army and all that. But like in this chapter, I got it. Like I get it now. Like now I know what's going on. Of course, later in this chapter, Malazans enter, and I was very excited about that. But I'm gonna get to that. So yeah, what do I have next? So laws of isolation given by Akrim to clear their blood because they've been like inbreeding or something. They wanted to stop incest, and that's that. The tribes are incestuous because, or like we think they are. They think they might be. I forget. Bareth thinks they might be incestuous because of the like birth defects and the high infant mortality rate of the tribe, because like the children are born and then they like instantly die or whatever. So but if they're living in small then they are incestuous. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know, bro. I don't know. It's whack. And then later they mentioned that Ikarium was mentioned in the Tales of the Spirit Wars. Okay, wait, hold on. But the tribes were, if they were Jagged, the Jagged was once like a great empire. They lived very complicated lives. So like those words that Ikarium didn't know, I assume one of them was city. I don't know what the other word is, but I think like we must like dismantle our great cities or whatever. Because Bareth says Dalam told him that the word is similar to great tribe or great village or something like that. So if the Jagged had to get rid of these great cities, they revering the older time, the time of long gone by of like simpler life. So they were once like a thriving people. But now, because of the laws of isolation, they have to, basically regress technologically and set their whole, like, people back generations and generations of progress. So, yeah, the implication, there's so much to talk about there and dive into, but I can't get to it done because there's more in this chapter. So that's cool. Then Karsa, Bareth, and Delam find a magic rock. I forget what it's called, but it's a magic rock, and it's holding down a demon they call the Forecastle, or Forcastle, or whatever. And this was some strange stuff, dude. They lift the rock. Or they know that Ikarium and the Tebler tribes worked to put this rock here and to trap the Forecastle. And because the Forecastle was a peace bringer or whatever, I don't know. Anyways, they lift the rock and it fucks them up. The demon says her name is Calm. I don't know if it's a demon. I'm just calling it a demon. It might not be. I don't know what demons are in this world, because I know the Aptorian is a demon, and I know that the shit Quick Ben summoned his demon, and he met another demon in anyways, I don't know what demons are. I don't know what qualifies a demon in this universe, but anyways, whatever the fuck Calm is, some thing of too many aspects of rotation on their limbs. It wakes up and it like beats them up. It like fuses its hand onto Delam and it breaks his brain and he thinks he's like a dog. But Calm beats up Bareth, beats the fuck out of Delam, and then it's like holding down Karsa, and it tells Karsa that like I will, you're basically you're destined for great things, and when you are on the precipice of changing the world, I will be there and I will bring peace. Of course, the peace this thing is referring to is death. So love some prophecy. That's cool. And then it just kind of fucks off. I don't know what's up with that. I hope that comes. It was super cool, but I don't know what happened there. Whatever, bro. Yeah. So turns Delam into a guy who thinks he's a dog because it fucks up his like brain so bad. There's like white stuff coming out of his brain, out of his head. I don't know what that is biologically. I don't know much about the body. But then Bareth and Karsa have a fight where Karsa wins because of like the pack of dogs he's got, and their fight is interrupted. Or yeah, they fight because Bareth is like, you may go back to the tribe and force Daelis to be your woman, your wife, but just know that the entire time you're with her, she'll be thinking of me. And then Karsa says something that drives that drives Bareth to attack. I don't remember what. But anyways, their fight is interrupted when they hear some humans checking out the big rock, and there's like 8 dudes there, and Karsa's like, "Oh, free killing, don't mind if I do," and goes up and he fucks them up. He beats the shit out of them, kills them, dead. And they, like, cast magic on him. I was surprised they casted, like, fire, like, fucking burning hands. They burning hands on this guy. And he just shrugged it off like it was nothing. So that happens. And then they traverse Bone Pass to get to Silver Lake. I didn't quite know what was going on with Bone Pass. It was a lot of bones. That's for sure. He got rid of the dirt. Karsa got rid of the dirt that was covering up Bone Pass, and then as they were walking down Bone Pass, they look back up. Bareth looks back up and sees that the way they had gone down is quickly getting like covered up again. So Bone Pass is kind of hidden. I think the bones are the bones of Jagat because there's the mention of like tusks. I think maybe I hallucinated that. I'm not gonna bother to check in the middle of recording this, but that's cool. And then they attack Silver Lake, which goes really well for everyone involved. I joke, everyone dies aside from Karsa, but you can say part of him dies as well. Bareth asked Karsa, how long ago was it that your grandfather conducted this raid on Silver Lake? And Karsa's like, 80 years ago. It can't be that different. Well, it turned out that ranch house and, like, farm that was there is now, like, an outpost of the... not necessarily the Malazan Empire. I forget the exact geopolitical situation going on there, but... yeah. There's like a keep. There's soldiers, professionally trained soldiers, and there are Templar bounty hunters that are there. And don't get me wrong, I mean, they bust in to that, I think the horse just jumps over the wall, because the horse is like 2 times the size of a human horse or whatever. So it, like, jumps over and, like, stomps on a cottage, or a shack, or whatever, but, yeah, they fuck shit up in there. They kill a lot of people. But they all die. All the dogs die. Bareth dies. Delam dies. Bareth doesn't die, actually. He does die, but he gets captured. As well as Karsa. They both get captured eventually. And one of the... I forget who it was. Oh yeah, it's like a guy who escaped the attack of like the 8 dudes that went to check out the rock. One of them got away. And he speaks Teblor. So he asks Karsa, will you tell us of your people And Karsa's like, yeah, bro, I'll tell you anything you want, because if you try to, capture my tribe, which I can't remember the name of his tribe, but if you try to capture my tribe or whatever, they'll fucking kill you and you'll be super dead. So you can go and try all you want. Which is a hell of a thing for a guy who just got owned to to say. Um, I mean, he took out a lot of them, but in the end, they got him. And the guard or whatever who's speaking to Karsa is like, oh yeah, great, all right, everyone. He'll tell us you can kill him now, so you can kill Bareth. And then Bareth is like getting his, like right before he gets his like throat slit, I think. He yells at Karsa. He says, "Lead me, war leader." And Karsa dwells on this while he is sitting in a slave pit, thinking, what an odd thing to say. Why would he even say that? Why would he say that in an insulting way? This guy is kind of dense. And then he's like mad at Bareth because Bareth died. I don't know. I don't entirely understand the reason. But that's cool. Anyways, in the slave pit, he meets Torvald Nam, who is Ralik Nam's brother. And this is like 4 years or 3 years before Gardens of the Moon. So I don't know what this guy is doing here. Well, I guess I do. He got like captured doing thief stuff. And of course we meet him. I love the like dialogue that they have when they meet each other. Oh shit. Let me see if I can like quickly find it, because it's really good. I am blah blah blah. Okay, I can't find it off the top here. So, but anyways, Torvald Nam is like, hey, Karsa, you, big guy, can you do me a favor and spin this this log that we're like chained to around, so that the chain shortens and we can like drown in the water. And Karsa's like, why do you want to do that? And Torvald Nam is like, well, I would die quicker. It would be a lot easier than being a slave for the rest of my days. And he asks for it in such a like polite way. It's so good. He's really a great character. And he's like, Torvald is attached. There's like 2 other people on the chain that he's attached to. And so Karsa's like, okay, puny lowlander, I will do as you ask, but only because I'll get your tooth, or I'll get your tongue, or whatever. I'll get some trophy from you. And so he picks up the big log and he starts spinning it, and like he drowns 2 of the people on the chain. Torvald's like, actually, wait, I think I want to live. Can we reverse this real quick? And Karsa's like, fucking loser, coward. And I don't remember exactly why he doesn't like kill Torvald, but it's a funny interaction. And then Karsa, down there in the slave pits, gets like walked down I have their names written down. The Sunnid tribe. There's like 12 Sunnid Templars who are led down there, and Karsa like clowns on them, and is like, you puny ass motherfucker, got captured looking ass, you are a disgrace to your people, and you are naturally inferior to me in every single way. So that's what enlightening thought Karsa has in the moment. And he says, I'm gonna escape, and when I get back, don't worry, I'm gonna kill you quick. But he also mentions like the Bloodwood and like some other stuff like that, and the Sunnid are completely astonished. They're like, what are you talking about? Bloodwood? That's like a legend. That's a Templar legend. And Karsa's like, what are you talking about? I was using a Bloodward sword like an hour ago to cave in and decapitate the heads of these puny-ass lowlanders. Um, so that's cool. And then Karsa proves that he can indeed break those cuffs, and he, like, rips out the chain from the log, and then he frees Torvald Nam as well, and there's a funny little interaction where Torvald Nam is like, lead me out of here, Karsa, I will follow. And Karsa's like, are you sure you mean that? You really sure you mean that? And the Sunnet are like, be careful, there are no light words among the Tebler. And Torvald is like, well, you see, it was a manner of speaking. So, lead the way, and I will happen to be behind you. And then Karsa's just like, yeah, whatever. And he, like, throws open the top of the cell, and they escape. Torvald Nam fucks off to wherever. He says he has friends and he can get out. And Karsa decides that he's gonna go fuck up this outpost somewhere. He's not done. I thought that the chapter was gonna, like, end there. No, it keeps going. So he goes. Karsa goes to the, like, bounty hunters who hunted the Tebler tribes, and when he first got there, he was, like, astonished that the Teblers were being hunted. So he goes there, and he gets like an old Bloodwood sword that had not been, like, properly taken care of, and then he gets some drugs and some armor, and he gets super high and in a rage. I don't know what the real word equivalent is. Like, ecstasy isn't right. Is it, like, I don't know, but he gets zonked, I guess. And he goes around fucking shit up. He, like, breaks into houses. He, like, rapes someone. He rapes a woman because she gets, like, she gets like horny because of the drugs that he rubbed on his armor or something. I don't know. I'm not really not really sure what happened there. And then he comes to his senses in an attic in, like, another house somewhere. And that whole time he killed a bunch of people in that time. That he was drugged. So, that he drugged himself. So then he's, like, fucking shit up some more. Wakes up in an attic, and then he's like, well, I'm not done. I'm gonna go fuck some more shit up, I think. I don't remember the exact sequence of events, but he gets captured by some Malazans when he enters, like, some outpost. Soft footfalls below, 5-6 sets spreading out through the room under him. Karsa, his senses still heightened beyond normal by the blood oil, sniffed the air, but their scent had yet to reach him. Yet he knew these were hunters, not soldiers. What? He drew am I reading the right part? And drew for a moment, then nodded to himself. Yes, the slave masters, warriors, deeming themselves cleverer than the Malazans, still wanting me for their master. Oh no, I'm reading the, like, entirely wrong part of the book. That's when he just woke up in the attic. Honestly, I don't entirely remember what happened. I think he impales himself on a piece of wood somehow. And the Malazans capture him, and I was like, hell yeah, dude, Malazans, let's go. I don't know how, but I got very attached to this empire. And I like, anytime I see anything Malazan related, I'm like, my ears perk up. So then he gets captured by some Malazans. I'm sure I'll learn their names eventually. I don't know what they are now. I think one of them is named Cord. Another is, like, there's Captain Kindly, I think. Yeah, Cord, Captain Kindly. Anyways, they capture him, and there's a brief argument between, like, the sergeant and the slave master who comes to get Karsa, and like he plans on using Karsa as a slave, and obviously he's a slave master, and fuck is his name? The sergeant is like, you know, oh, are you gonna like offer me a bribe or something? And then the slave master sighs and is like, I guess I, excuse me, I guess I could. And then the sergeant is like, you know, it's illegal to offer me to offer me a bribe, right? Plus, Karsa did just destroy a bunch of Malazan imperial property, which makes it kind of our jurisdiction. And then Captain Kindly comes in, and the sergeant is like, "Hey, Captain Kindly, this guy's trying to bribe me." And then Captain Kindly is like, is that so, slave master? We do not think highly of you and your slaving. And we could book you for anything we want, or whatever. They basically say, you know, slave master, fuck off. You know, you have, what are you going to do to us? We're the Malazan Empire. We want this guy. We're going to take him. And this squadron, or I don't know, whatever. But they're talking about how they're going to be shipped to the Seven Cities continent. And I'm like, oh, so this is how it all ties together. So I'm looking forward to Karsa getting shipped off to Seven Cities after it felt like a very long introduction of like 150 pages or something of just Karsa and you know, Karsa Delum and Barith. It wasn't bad, it just felt a little disconnected from everything going on. So when it finally got attached to the Malazans and like the greater plot and seeing everything going on, I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, I get it. I'm down for that. So there's a lot of ominous stuff that happened in this chapter. I'm interested in seeing what happens with Calm, which is an interesting name. They call her Fork Castle, but she says something about Fork a Sail or something like that. I don't know what that is. Maybe I should read that part over again. Yeah, man, just crazy stuff going on in this chapter. Oh yeah, the squad mage cast like some pretty powerful spells on Karsa, and Karsa. The narration says that Karsa could have broken out of it, more or less, or that he, given time, could break out of it. And the mage is like, that spell would kill a horse or something like that, and it's just holding him. So there's something up with this guy. He has been like chosen by the faces in the stone. So I don't know what that means. I don't. The 7 dudes who crawl out of the bog, and they're the sons of some guy and the brothers of the writer in the cave, and they followed the what was it called? I wrote this down. The laws of isolation given by Icarium, and we know Icarium's been alive for like hundreds of thousands of years, maybe. I don't know if that long, but like a long time, a really long time. The guy built, like, he built the machine in Darujistan that does something with time. I don't know, and that was like forever ago. And he also built an empire. This is in book 2. Deadhouse Gates, where Icarium and Mappo are like traveling, and they come across a city that Icarium built however long ago and just has no memory of it. He ruled over that area, whatever kingdom that was, and he just doesn't remember it. So I don't know, bro. I'm very interested in just seeing where all of this goes. I think that's all I've got. I'm sure there's more there's always more I could mention, but these my idea was that these chapter summary videos would be relatively quick, and here I just spoke for like 30 minutes about it, and I could have spoken for 30 more. Each chapter is just so dense with things going on and meaning and interpretation that I feel like even what I'm doing now is not a thorough. Like, I feel like I'm skipping over so much. But especially with like themes and all that. But there's a time and a place to look at those things. I guess I'm sure there's other channels that dive into that if you're interested in that. I think that's all I've got. I will read through chapter 3 and maybe I'll get back to you on that after I finish chapter 3, or maybe I'll make it to chapter 4 and then do an impression there. These first few chapters were just so dense. We'll see. Best laid plans of mice and men. Alright, take it easy now, but take it. Bye.